Hey guys, how are we all doing? I hope you're all feeling a little bit better than I am right now. It's Monday morning and I have a little bit of a hangover. So for today's tutorial, I thought I would do something, well, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do to be honest, but I want to do something that's more on the natural side, that's just going to make me look much better than I feel and just be a very wearable, brightening, beautifying kind of makeup. And I have quite a few new products to try out today. Some are going to be first impressions and some I've only used once or twice before. The first thing I'm going to do is pop on some of the MAC Strobe cream, and I'm going to use this for two reasons. Because it gives me, it's very moisturizing, so it's going to make my skin feel nice and hydrated and look a little bit more hydrated. And strobe cream has this kind of pearlescent pigment through it, so it makes your skin look a little bit more glowy. And that's obviously going to make me look a bit better, as I'm feeling like crap right now. But it's also going to work well under the foundation I'm about to use, and you'll see why in a second. For my foundation today, I'm going to use the Maybelline Dream Wonder. This is the Fluid Touch foundation in the shade 10 Porcelain Ivory. Now this isn't actually available in Australia yet, but it is in the States, and I think it is in the UK as well. I am unsure about the rest of the world. But this is, I've used it once before. It comes with a dropper, not a dropper, just a wand that you like use to apply the foundation. I'm not sure about this method of application, to be honest, because it's a bit unhygienic, although it is really convenient. I suppose you could just tip the foundation out if you wanted to. It is one of those really liquidy, like very watery, runny textures. So similar to the L'Oreal, I think it's the Nude Magique, and originally the Armani Maestro, and a lot of kind of higher end brands have come out with formulas like this, like the YSL Fusion Ink and stuff. So it's one of those very liquidy, liquid to powder formula. So it sets to a very kind of dry, matte, powdered finish. The coverage is actually lovely, and the first time I put it on, I was so impressed with how it looks. It looks really nice, and it takes like 2 seconds to blend in. I do have a couple of problems with it. First is the size of the bottle. You only get 20 mils, which is 10 mils smaller than most foundations. The average foundation size is 30 mils. And when it dries in, it does look quite dry. So if you have any areas of flakiness, or if you have dry skin, it's probably not going to be great for you. So that's why I use the strobe cream underneath it, to give it a little bit more of a luminosity underneath and to give it a bit more slip as well. Other than that though, I actually think it's really nice. Color is great for me as well. It's like a more neutral, it's not too pink, it's not too yellow, it's quite neutral. And it builds. So you can see I'm just putting a little bit more on right in the center of my face, and it does layer really well. So I would say for oily skin, for combination oily skin, as long as you don't have too much texture or flakiness in your skin, this is beautiful. For my concealer today, I'm going to use the Max Factor Master Touch Concealer, which I've used a few times before. I do like, the applicator is a bit annoying. It's a doe foot applicator, which isn't very, it doesn't kind of sit very well under the eyes. I prefer a brush, but it's a nice formula. It's not the best concealer I've ever used, but it's not the worst either. And I just wanted to keep this makeup tutorial a little bit more on the affordable side. Well, I have a mix of products, affordable and slightly more high-end. It's nice and creamy, so on days where I feel like my under eye area is a little bit crepey, it sits quite well. I'm just going to pop a little bit around this part of my nose where I have a few broken capillaries and redness, a little bit of redness here as well. I have a spot that's just like bubbling up beneath the surface, and it's really painful, but it hasn't like reared its head yet. Any day now. And for powder, I'm actually just going to set that concealer under the eyes. I'm going to use my usual Mineralized Skin Finish in Light and just put it right under the eyes. I'm not going to set that foundation because I don't really think it needs it. It does, as I said, set to quite a powdery finish, so I don't want to go overboard and make it look too dry and too matte. I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer because I feel like I always benefit from a bit of bronzer. I'm going to use my NARS Laguna bronzer. I wrote a blog post over the weekend, actually, my top bronzers for fair skin or for pale skin. So I have a few options in there for people like me that have really, really pale skin but still like to wear bronzer. So I'll have that linked in the description box if you're interested to have a look. And I always like to put just a little bit across my nose. And for my blush, I am going to use a new one for me. It's a NARS one. It's the one that everybody talks about. Orgasm. Would you believe I never owned this up until this moment? And I've used it once or twice before, and I do like it. But it's just a blush. It's not kind of as amazing as some people have made it out to be. It's very, very shiny. There's a lot of gold kind of shimmer in it. So I like that. I do like my blushes to be a bit kind of shimmery and shiny. And the particles are quite fine, so it's not too glittery. But you just don't get a great payoff. Like, it doesn't come out that dark or that pink because there's so much of that gold reflection. But it is very pretty, and it does make your skin look really glowy. And I'm just going to pop a little bit really lightly on my brow bone, just above my eyebrows. I always find just a little bit of rosiness there. It just makes your whole complexion look a bit brighter and healthier. Moving on to the brows now, and I'm just going to fill them in pretty much the same way that I have been doing for my past couple of tutorials. I'm first going to take my Anastasia Brow Wiz in Ash Blonde and use that to kind of plot in the basic shape and bulk out my brows a little bit. And then I'll go over with a mixture of MAC Mystery and Saddle eyeshadow with a ZOEVA wing liner brush just to intensify and add a little bit more depth to the eyeshadows, especially on the outside half. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of that Max Factor concealer again and just pop a very small amount of that onto my eyelid. On my eyes today, I'm using a new palette. It's the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. And I've heard kind of mixed reviews about this one. My first impression of the packaging is why? Why would you make your product a flocked, kind of velvety pack? Like, why? That's just gonna get so dirty. And look, it's brand new. Like, literally I just took it out of the box and it already kind of looks dirty. It's just a very strange color. Colors themselves in the palette are very, very pretty, very wearable. They say that they're matte, but looking at them, they don't all look to be matte. They all look to have a little bit of a satin kind of finish. I'm going to start with one of the lighter colors. I am going to use Love. That is quite pink on me, actually. Next, I'm going to take this color here called Soft Light. I'm intrigued by this one. It kind of almost has an olive tone, like a beigey olive color. And I'm going to use this just above my crease. Actually, no, I'm going to go into the crease. That came out a bit darker than I expected. Into the crease and above. That's quite a nice contouring color, actually. Nice shadow. Blends really nicely. Okay, yeah, so far so good. Those two shades were super easy to blend. Next, I'm going to go into this kind of grey, purple, kind of blackberry color called Iconic. And I'm going to drag this along the lash line and smoke that out a little bit. Hopefully, oh yeah. I don't know if you can see, but we're getting a little bit of fallout already. These are quite powdery. They're the kind of eyeshadow where as soon as you put the brush into the product, there's kind of powder all over the place. So I possibly should have done my eyes before the foundation. I'll pull that up on the outside. And then just going to take this small Sigma brush. This is their E47. And just use that to blend that. Okay, this color has not been quite so impressive. This is just blending away to nothing. Just adding a little bit more of that eyeshadow with this brush, just kind of in a V shape, really, I suppose, like the classic V shape. Going back into the angle brush, this time I'm going to take Noir, and I'm just going to push that right in at the roots of the lashes. I don't think I'm going to bring any of that dark colour onto the lower lash line because I really like how it's just really making my eyes look big and bright right now, and if I bring the colour underneath, it's just kind of close them in again. So instead, I'm going to add a little bit of a kind of a shimmery colour. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put it, but I just really want to use it because it's new. It's one of the new Max Factor Excess Shimmer Cream eyeshadows, and this is in the shade Pink Opal. I feel like this is going to work well. see how loose they are. Like they're very, like a whipped cream. Karima, actually from Shameless Fripperies, said that they kind of remind her of the Tom Ford cream eyeshadows, which is good drugstore dupe in that case. So let us see. Just gonna dab it over that inside corner. I did swatch a few of these on my hand earlier and I noticed that they weren't waterproof, so I could quite easily rinse them off under the tap. And they didn't seem to set really, so when I rubbed my hand 10 minutes later they did smudge. So they don't seem to be like, you know, a long lasting kind of product. So I would say you would definitely want to use an eyeshadow primer with them, and use them in conjunction with powders just to help them to set a little bit longer. All right, I am going to curl my lashes with my trusty TWEEZERMAN lash curlers. And then for my mascara, I'm going to use the Max Factor Masterpiece Transform, which I have used in a video before and I didn't really like that much, but I've kind of been playing with it and I think I figured out a way to make it work. It has a really unusual brush shape. It's one of these plasticky wand type ones. So I've found actually to go in with the short bristle side first works best. Right at the roots and very lightly. Does put a lot of product on, so it can get very clumpy very quickly if you're not careful. And then use the longer bristles to pull the product up through the length of your lashes. And I'm not going to do any mascara on my bottom lashes because I want it to be a really top heavy lifted eye look. For my lips, I want to do something pink and rosebuddy. That's just kind of what I'm feeling from this makeup. It's very pretty. So I'm going to line them first with my MAC Soar lip pencil. Just going to take my finger and soften that pencil in. And then for my lip gloss, I'm using one of the Maybelline, what are these called? ELIXER Color Sensational in the color Petal Plush. There's just a couple of things I want to do just to really finish off this look. And first I want to tight line my top waterline with my Eye of Horus pencil. I can see that little like line of flesh underneath my lashes and it's really annoying me, so I'm just gonna have to line that. And I want to add just a little bit more blush. And that's the finished look. So it's just a very soft, pretty, eye brightening, face brightening, make you not look like crap kind of makeup, which is really the best kind of makeup. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is a nice wearable one after my last crazy colorful one. I thought I would balance things out a little bit on the channel. If you did enjoy this tutorial, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for videos every Monday and Friday. Don't forget to check out the blog post for more photographs of the finished look, as well as a full list of all of the products that I used with links to all of their websites. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday so far and I hope you have a great week, and I will see you same bat time, same bat channel, well, Friday. I'll see you on Friday, guys. Bye! Hey guys, today I am doing this look for you, which is just a really wearable, soft, natural look. Okay, joking. This look is actually inspired by a desert